Begin this morning with Jacob Blake. He is the 29-year-old black man who was shot multiple times by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin on Sunday. He's now paralyzed. His attorney said yesterday the damage to Blake's spinal cord as well as to his internal organs is so severe that it would, quote, take a miracle for him to walk again. That shooting has sparked protest over racial injustice in cities across the country, some of which have erupted into violence. Amid the protests over Blake's shooting overnight, Kenosha police reported 2 fatalities and also that a third gunshot victim was transported to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. It marked the third night of violent protests that have torn through Kenosha, which saw police fire tear gas to subdue big crowds surrounding the courthouse past the 8 p.m. curfew. About 250 law enforcement officers and 250 National Guardsmen were on hand. Governor Tony Evers has declared a state of emergency. Yesterday, Jacob Blake's parents pleaded for justice for their son and for an end to the violence.
They shot my son 7 times. 7 times. Like he didn't matter. But my son matters. He's a human being, and he matters.
As I was riding through here, through the city, I noticed a lot of damage. It doesn't reflect my son or my family. If Jacob knew what was going on as far as that goes, the violence and the destruction, he would be very
A family full of grief, but also full of grace, having to go out in front of the cameras and address the pain in their own family, the pain of what happened to their son or their daughter, but also to make an appeal to the country. Astounding to watch Jacob Blake's father, his mother, and his sister yesterday, the grace that they showed.
It was very moving and at the same time challenging. Blake's father called me day before yesterday and asked for our support. In fact, he's joining us at the National March in Washington on Friday that Martin Luther King III and I had already called. And when you look at the fact that this young man was shot in the back 7 times, probably will not be able to walk again. Prayerfully, maybe he will, but certainly he's paralyzed now. And in any way, shape, or form that does not seem justified at all, unarmed, non-threatening, running away from the policeman. And yet his mother and father stood there and had a grace about what was going on, calling for peace, calling for people not to do anything that this young man himself would want to stand for. They showed a grace that the country and the law enforcement officials have not shown them. And I would hope that this not only speaks to those that would go out and misrepresent what Jacob is about. I hope it speaks to those that investigate in this case that this needs to stop. And we need to have laws that will enforce protection of those of us that are subjected to police that take matters above the law, beyond the law, rather than enforce the law. And that's what Friday's about, and that's what this family reminds us as other families in the past. It's not just the video, it's the law and enforcement of the law. We had a video 20 years ago, 25 years ago with Rodney King. What we haven't had is the willingness to say to police, you will pay and be accountable if you go beyond and above the law.
Yeah, it was incredible display of grace by the family, the mother, also telling those protesting not to resort to violence, that undermined everything that her son stood for, but also said she was praying for the police, but also that she expected justice.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.